Sega.
But of course, the problem with a bank is they're going to want a return. But they might just want interest, and it might be a tiny amount, like 6% a month, and it becomes another fee, another cost of running the thing. If it's covered by whatever the income is, it could just be advertising, or I've thought about doing subscription and stuff.
Guys, if you're not playing anything and you just jam the chat, jump into the G-Arcade channel.
Drop the critters, Eggman! If you insist.
Whoa, that's harsh! Swing back around for it!
Predictable. He must really love those things! We're hit! Whoa! What's that in the clouds?
That must be the lost hex! Cool!
Less looking, more landing!
Haha, see, because they just hit the mesh and explode. Fail. Ah, got mushed the lag.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Mush me. Ah, fuck. That wasn't. The lag. The sloshers kind of appealed to me, but there's too much like roller to have a rational hate for roller. Okay, so they're like shotguns. I bought the funny.
I'm playing the best game of 2014 right now.
What, Anno?
Anno Bossville.
I've like never used a slosher. I was just using one because it had a disruptor, and a disruptor is the thing that slows you down.
Oh, what the fuck?
Damn
Whoa!
straight.
What's that we had that?
What's the disruptor?
Oh,
Disruptor is the sub-weapon that like slows people down, makes them feel like they're more too slow.
Yeah, I've never actually seen anyone use that. Oh,
boy.
yeah, I was just playing about Fire Emblem Classic and it's really good.
Ah!
We need to get back in. What part of the radio? No, hang on. No, wait, on the 3DS? Oh, wait.
No,
Or one of the games.
I'm playing the crossover game they're making, or they've made, with Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, right, that's come around.
Yeah,
Sharp Fire Emblem.
Oh, right.
Fire Emblem Sharp, actually.
Sharp Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem hashtag.
Sounds like intense, the anime style.
It's so anime.
It's okay. So if I could explain it,
In the
Yeah.
demos, it's just a load of kind of titillation and dresses and
okay. So basically,
That is what it is.
similar to how Persona has, or Persona 3 has Tartarus or whatever it is. In this, you go through like gateways, and they're the dungeons, and in the dungeons you fight things like a JRPG. But the combat is very Persona, but all the characters and all your enemies, you know the Fire Emblem weapon system,
Yeah.
or like some weapons are better
Come out in
against others and
2014,
things like
was it
that.
2015?
Yeah.
2013, sorry.
Is it mostly arms based then? Like
It's based on weapon, but also magic as well. And there's a really cool system called the session system, right? and you get
Sonic and Tails will get your buddies back.
basically you get
Did you get
Amy is so annoying.
Oh, damn it.
sorry, yeah, you get like passive skills called session skills, and they activate depending on what your other characters do. So, for example,
Oh, cool.
one of the first ones you start off with one of the two main characters, or two of them, is when you use like the guy's lightning attack. If you have that passive skill set to your character, because you can change them, she'll do like a melee attack with her spear, and then you can chain them. So, like for example, I've only done a chain of 3 so far because I don't have many of them. But like they do more damage and they give you benefits that I'm not entirely sure of yet if you do lots of session skills. But you basically get a free attack if you do them because you don't use a turn on those other characters. You only use it on the main character that you're using.
Sounds a bit like the support mechanic in Awakening.
Yeah, it's kind of like
So,
that almost, but it's like it's guaranteed based on what you do, whereas in Awakening it's somewhat random.
Yeah, it's more like chance.
And then in Fate they changed that because it was kind of broken in Awakening because it happened all the time. But now you can only get, in Fate, you can only get support attacks if they're stood next to each other. If you're on the same tile, so you've got 2 units together, they can only do this defensive thing, where every time you take damage when you're in that stance, it builds up like a little shield meter, and when that meter hits full, you avoid an attack, or you defend an attack, block it.
Okay. I haven't experienced that because I always tear my characters up in every map, unless there's an odd number allowed in the map.
No, it's
in
in
which case I
Fates,
haven't
it's in the new one that they've changed it.
Yeah, Awakening, pairing in Awakening was OP as hell.
Yeah. But now there's actually disadvantages to pairing as well, but there's also advantages as well, so Fates is really good.
Oh, I see what I was when they are paired. Yeah, when they're paired, then they always bend each other.
Can't enemies pair in Fates as well?
No, hold on, he's asking me. They can, if they're stood next to each other, they can do like the pair attack here.
Yeah.
But that's also random chance.
But even so, that still gives the enemy a bit of that power.
I've got to go back into that game, I absolutely love it, but every time I get into massive sessions, do like 4 or 5 battles, and then kind of get knackered, and got my crazy. I've had it for
Wow,
years.
that was
When did it
shit.
come out? 2013, probably. No, it's 13. I think I'm on the third continent.
I never thought you'd make it this far in one piece. We may get to tangle after all. Be down.
Is it just us two playing Gecko? Is it just those were the only 2 in the match?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, cool.
I'm playing Sonic Lost World.
I just can't be asked to get off the sofa now, I'm comfy.
You guys aren't streaming at the moment, right?
I am.
Ah,
Pedz is playing stuff.
oh.
How are you liking Sonic Lost World there, Pedz?
Yeah.
That word says more than 1,000 words ever could.
Yeah, it really does. I still want to play that game. It just... I like the style of it, but it just sounds like they didn't polish it as well as they could have. Is that on PC or Wii U?
Wii U.
Ah, yeah.
Streaming on PC? Would I do such a thing? Well, I would, yeah, but I can't.
I still loved when there was that bug on the Steam store and you could buy the entire Sonic franchise for £4.
That would have been awesome. I'd have got that straight away.
Yeah, I got it, and I've not played any of them.
You
Well,
douchebag.
I
It's-
got basically the same thing with the Humble Bundle. They did that for £5.
Yeah, I also, like, one Christmas, I was like, oh, I really want to play the classic Tomb Raiders again, like the good ones. So I bought the Tomb Raider collection, and I played Tomb Raider 2 for like an hour, and then I forgot to play it again. So they're all just sat in my list, unplayed.
I do find that when you go to a Steam profile, you just go to the games list of what games being played. There's just
Yeah.
that big load at the bottom which just haven't been touched. It's very
Thing
guilty
is-
to do so now.
It basically turned into, I mean, it's very similar to the reason why I don't pirate stuff, because like when I try and emulate things, I just never play them because I download way too much stuff.
Well, it's easy to just get swapped up in it all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I nearly got until my Wii U hard drive. I fucked up with it because I'm an idiot. Until that, when my external hard drive went wrong because I was a clown, I nearly finished Earthbound for the first time ever. Because whenever I tried to play it on emulator, I got like a little bit of the way through, then stopped playing because I got playing something else.
I'm like that with games in general. It doesn't have to be emulator or not.
Well, I was like that this year. I'm trying to be a bit better about it. So far this year, I've already finished 2 games. And I'm close with another one. And one is like a little puzzle game, which is Box Boy, and I think I'm nearly done with that as well.
Oh, I still need to pick that up actually.
Yeah, it was on sale in Japan, so I picked it up.
It was on sale in America, it just hasn't been on sale over here.
Yeah,
It looks very cute though, it looks like a sort of game I really like.
like, from what I've played of it, it's really fun. There was like I'm on like World 8 or something, and there was one puzzle at one point that I was just like, I don't get how I'm supposed to do this, and I've spent ages doing it.
Look at that box for me.
Yeah, Box Boy it was, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ghost.
I really want to get that. It's still like £3. I don't know how to put it. I forgot
Oh,
about it.
I think it's £4.50 on the 3DS shop, which does seem worth it. Like a really polished, nice little puzzle game.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, it comes
When
with
that
it.
was announced, people were like, oh, there's all these pissy little indie looking games. Well, it's £3.50. £4.
Gamers are fickle and quick to dismiss, I'm afraid. It's not be the case and probably will continue. But yeah, Quakes Earth Bound is definitely worth getting to the end for the final boss is certainly memorable, to put it that way. You know, I'm sure you've hit that before, you know, but
Yeah.
people go, it's true.
I also bought Mother 3 on the Wii U eShop recently in Japan, because that was on sale.
Oh, nice, yeah. It's,
I've never played that before, but apparently it's really good, so... Well, it's weird. You actually, like, you read what Japanese people thought of it, and, like, reviews and stuff, and apparently it's not as good as Mother 2.
Oh,
But
really?
I think, yeah, but I think because it never got released, it got, like, some massive cult following in America for some reason.
Was that Mother 3?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe it's because of the cult following, but I've heard it's a very, very good game.
I think
Apparently
some of the reasons someone might prefer it to Bound or Mother 2, like Earthbound has things like the inventory system, which is really limited, and Mother 2, slightly archaic aspects to it, like it's not as bad as other RPGs in that sense. And I think Japanese players are generally more forgiving to that, whereas the fact Mother 3 ironed them out, that would probably be more appreciated by Western players. apparently there's been a big Nevis post to get level 3 localized, so we'll see what comes. I mean, if not, there's always the fan translation, which is meant to be excellent.
In Japanese.
Well, all that, but...
It'd be quicker to learn Japanese than Nintendo releasing it, well, you know, localizing it.
I still found it so funny when, on that direct, they made a point of, hey, we noticed on Nevis people like Earthbound, and it's like, that's been clear to anyone who's been on the internet like the past 10 years, you know, it's like, Earthbound fans are pretty, you know, blessed that they're quite dedicated to what they like, and they've certainly been vocal about that. And with good reason, some people do.
I'll do this level, I'll jump off the stream anyway, dude.
I didn't realise it was half an hour. God, it's easy to lose time like this.
I'm not missing out so much. Guess you wanna play some StarCraft too?
No, I'm fine. Even though I shouldn't be working, I'm trying to fix this problem because it's really pissing me off. What?
Your team let you down, then.
I can't hear a thing you're saying, Griffith.
I'm just saying, don't work too hard.
I'm not really doing anything.
Oh no, I
I'm just trying
assumed you were playing, wanted to play something because you were asking if I was streaming.
Oh no, because I wanted to talk about something stupid, but it doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
The moment's passed.
No, it isn't. Now you said it, I'm intrigued.
Oh no, it was just some stupid family stuff that's going on, which is just really funny to me, but
Fair enough.
basically one of my idiot cousins posted something
We
on
did
Facebook.
it! Don't speak, I'm all finished yet. I don't use Facebook though, because I've got a Facebook account and I don't know why I've still got it, because I don't use it. I fucking hate Facebook and I hate 90% of the people who use it. To be honest, I don't particularly like people, so...
The thing is, I have a Facebook but I barely use it.
I don't mind, the people posting interesting stuff on there. I do find that as time goes on, I'm following more and more people. Even people who I really like, they just have, well, to put it nicely, slightly annoying posting tendencies, you know, like they post the same kind of things over and over. And, you know, they post like 4 times a day, which I don't know how people have their lives that interesting to do that, which I guess.
I recently unfollowed every single person on my Facebook apart from about 20 friends. And it made it so much more usable. The stuff I actually see, I'm more interested in.
Well, the funniest thing I think I follow on Facebook is the Daily Match, because the Daily Match is really funny.
Oh yeah, I do like that.
That's like the only reason why I really look at it.
The worst thing is when it kind of reveals the side of people you kind of liked or respected before, that's kind of unpleasant, you know? It's, it can be quite unfortunate for that.
Obviously you guys know about the Robot Wars thing, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is the Friends cast are getting back for a 2-hour like reunion special thing to honour one
fight
of the
Robot.
directors.
Woohoo! I'll be
I
tuning
want
into
it to be
that.
now. It's not going to be that.
Finally, we're gonna find out who really is the best friend in a battle to the death in a robot arena.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Hypno Ross.
Well, if not, we've got the Robot Wars episode of Space, you know. So.
Ah, don't
I was never into Robot Wars. Never
You're
got
wrong,
into it.
Pedz.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Just give up now.
I just never got into it.
It's just a bit goofy fun, really, isn't it? I'm amazed they haven't put it back.
I'm not saying it was shit, like, I'm just saying it didn't interest me very much.
Yeah, fair enough.
The thing with Robot Wars, when you look back at it, you realise how shit most of the teams were. Like, just in terms of who they were, there were no real like personalities there. They were all just slightly creepy.
That kind of goes into the stereotype of some people who would build robots, which...
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be mean, you know, but...
It's like, ultimately, like, the robots are as they should have been, and like... But the problem was you can't talk to a robot.
We gonna go or what, Tails?
Well, not yet, anyway.
But like, I don't know, I think if they do a new series, I think they're probably gonna like focus more on the guys making it, maybe. The battles will still be big, but I think they might try and make...
From the sounds of it, it
more
went
out of
downhill
each
quite
5
quickly
minutes.
with people constantly trying to make write-yourself robots that seem to be, you know, possible
Well,
to beat.
I know it's
kind of
weird,
thing.
but part of the thing that like really interests me about this is because developments in technology, it'll be way easier for like anyone to have a controller and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Like, surely if you've got a smartphone or a tablet, then you'll be able to code that to be your remote control rather than...
It's going to be way more accessible than stuff like Raspberry Pis and Arduinos that have really complex controls
Yeah.
that don't cost anything. That's the most expensive part of any RC is the controller by a lot. So. And then stuff like pneumatics and you could rip them out, like lawnmowers. There was one that was made out of a wheelchair. Recycled stuff is an expensive bit, the controllers are a bit.
Yeah.
There's definitely people getting creative on it, isn't there? As well as the technical skill of it.
I got terrible cough since I had that past year, just that. Kind of like hit the back of my throat in a way I didn't like.
I'm just very excited. It's been a long time since Robot Wars, so I'll be excited in terms of like what people can achieve now.
Honestly, the most exciting thing about Robot Wars is what Jasmine said. It was a spaced episode.
Oh, there was his first episode
Yeah.
with Reese Shearsmith.
And awesome.
It was very good.
Yeah, I really like that TV Mash article of experts warn that winter could last until spring.
What, I missed the last one?
So like the headline on it
Oh,
is
Not a very good
experts
game,
warn that
this.
winter could last until spring. And then like the sub-headline is like Britain's latest winter could last until it stops. Experts have warned.
Ah!
Well, there's that
So
sort
there's
of thing.
meant to do that.
It's like the Onion as well, where they're written at such a level that you could
Believe
sort
it real.
of mistake them. It's clever how they get that balance right.
Yeah, my favourite bit of it all is the Met Office is now predicting that spring will not arrive until the weather starts to warm up a bit and then stays like it for a while.
Yeah, they're right.
And it's like a spokesman said, we had hoped that the spring would start in the first half of February, but if it's snowing then it means it probably hasn't. At some point it will change, maybe late March or early April. It should be fairly obvious. Yeah, coldness confirmed during Neighbour Climate Summit.
Thing is, though, the weather is a lot fucking worse than it should be.
It's really cold on that, not even for
Yeah,
this
but
time.
no, but the thing is, it's not been very cold until now, so
Okay, it's a lot weirder than it should be.
millions of unsold cream eggs about to hatch. Millions of unsold cream eggs are about to break open and release the hideous monsters inside, scientists have confirmed. And my favourite one from the other day, junior doctors give up protest because they're so fucking knackered.
fuck? I jumped on top of that. In Sonic 2, jumped on top, they break.
Woo! Oh, Jasmine, you had a level 50 guy with 0 points. Fail.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Oh, well, at least I reached level 30 tonight.
This isn't a particularly good game, guys. But as I grabbed it when it was really cheap on the eShop, I decided to play it.
I still would like to play through it. It seems interesting, just kind of flawed. It's just weird they went for something so drastically different with it. Not the way it controls it, things like that.
What's interesting about it is they have made a really good Sonic game since fucking the 90s.
I like Generations. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Generations is alright, like, but in comparison to Sonic fucking 1, 2, and 3, they ain't got shit on it. Oh, I'm CD.
They have really wacky physics as well.
Oh yeah. Also, Sonic the Hedgehog 4. That was amazing.
I don't think Sonic 4 is as bad as some people make out. It is a bit disappointing.
It's very, like, the physics in that game are just awful.
Oh yeah,
They are.
Like, you can just stand on a vertical ramp. Just
You
stand
can.
there.
I had fun with like the 2 episodes they did for that. They were a little underwhelming in some ways, but there's some nice ideas in that. That's nice
Well,
music.
the thing I really don't understand, okay, maybe they're having trouble recreating the code they had before, but they had good physics before, why do they keep trying to change it?
Well, that's sort of the thing with the 3D songs in general, like, they just seem to try new ideas every single time. Like, as I say, Lost World was such a departure from Colours and Generations, where they had kind of interesting take on it going there, but they just abandoned it completely. That's probably why the games feel quite unpolished with it. It's all these crazy ideas, which in some ways is commendable, but it's obviously needed to kind of a scattershot.
The thing is, Sonic games at least quite often, if they release it like Nintendo when they tend to release a Mario game and they change shit up, it's not one every fucking year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say. In a way, it's like Sega look at what Nintendo did with Mario and then took it too far. Because like Nintendo always try and add something new to Mario games, but they never mess with the physics. Like the physics are always perfect, because they're based on the original physics still.
It's kind of interesting as well because I've noticed over time there's a few people who will claim the old Sonic games were never that good, that the controls are bad in them, which is something I heavily disagree with. Like, those games are so well programmed and so well made. Like, it's amazing how much nuance there is to such what seems like a very simple control scheme.
They are okay, but the thing is, people seem to get, Sega especially seem to get the wrong idea, because I've seen so many people say that the old Sonic games were about speed, and they weren't.
No, it's a bit more
They're
than
much more,
that.
they're much more platformy than
Yeah, they were exploration and platformy, but then then people were like, oh, Sonic needs to be fast, and then they started.
Sonic needs a good
Yeah,
sense
the
of
thing
speed,
is though,
but it doesn't have
Sonic
to
the
be-
Hedgehog was a very fast game outside of Europe, where the fucking game actually ran at 60 fucking hertz.
Yeah, okay, you moved around fast, but still, if you wanted to do the level properly, you needed to do it slowly.
Well, no, you could go do the game properly fast.
In a
Like,
way, the
certain
acceleration
things
is the
you'd have to
reward.
take your time on.
Yeah,
You know?
That's something I've noticed. I don't think at like ADGQ and stuff I've ever seen anyone run Sonic 1, 2 or 3.
Tell you what's weird about Sonic 1, 2 and 3 and Sonic in that era in general. Mario was just as fast.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe not as fast as American Sonic.
Well, the thing is, Sonic takes quite a bit of time to get up to speed, and he just goes,
Yeah,
he hasn't got that fast an acceleration, which that goes back to what you were saying, that it is part of the platform, and in particular the momentum in those games, how like you'll go down the edge, you know, a curved edge, and that will give you a good run, you know, things like that.
I think about Sonic games that the Master System games get out unfair fucking fashion, like, 'cause they're actually good games. Like, a lot of people say Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Master System. is just a shit version of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in the Mega Drive. Apart from the first level being called Green Hill Zone, the game is nothing like it. It's a completely different game, like.
Well,
It's
is
good.
that one's got Green Hill Zone, I want to say Labyrinth, and then Scrap Brain Zone also from Sonic 1, but they're very different takes on it.
It's got Green Hill Zone in there, and I don't think it's got Labyrinth Zone, have they? It's got Scrap Brain.
It's got underwater level, but as I say, it's so different. It might
Yeah,
be called
like the
something else,
fucking... There's like an auto-scroll level in there. That's not in fucking Sonic. The Bridge Zone 2, I think. There's also Jungle Zone, which is fucking really good. It gets so much fucking unfair fucking bashing, like.
I think the thing is because those games came out in the Game Gear as well, where you had a much more limited view because of the smaller resolution. So
Yeah.
I think people have kind of bad memories of that, them being part of it because of that. But yeah, the 8-bit Sonics, they're really nice little games. I prefer the Mega Drive ones, but I still like those ones.
They're very good games. People who dislike them are scum!
Exactly. No, but yeah,
Right, that's the end of the stream for whoever's watching, because they got some gossip.